Hi there, this is Jeanette Comerford for Whimsy Stamps, and today I'll be making some Easter treat boxes as well as some mini cards, and the supplies I'm using are all from Whimsy's March 2016 card kit. Here you can see the treat box that I made. It's just the perfect size to hold some Easter treats, some eggs or some chocolates, and these are the mini cards I stamped inside with one of the stamps from the card kit, and I had made another set earlier using tones of pink and purple and lavender. So I'm just sharing that with you. Inside I stamped the chick on that set. And so to start off, I'm taking a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and I am cutting it down to measure 6 by 11. Then I'll take my score pal, I'll line up the 6-inch side along the top edge, and I'll score at 1 and 5, and I'll flip it around and score at 1, 5, 6, and 10. Now with a pair of scissors, I'm going to start cutting up along some of those creases. So on the bottom edge here, I'm going to cut up and cut a little notch on either side. Now in my excitement to start showing you how to cut it, I forgot to say we really should fold it first. You fold all those creases, you fold them with your bone folder so they're nice and crisp. This makes assembling the box much easier. So I stopped what I was doing, I folded all my crease marks or my score marks, and then I continued cutting the same thing on the other side, cutting up and a notch. And then here in the middle, I'm going to cut up into the center and then notch either side. So you can see me doing it here a bit clearer. And you just cut the notch so that it's easier to fold everything. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to add some adhesive. For boxes like this, I like to use a strong adhesive, so I'm using some Score Pal tape. So I'm putting it everywhere that I cut some notches. I cut up and cut a notch. I'm putting some Score Pal tape. And this does take a little bit more time than if you would use adhesive runner, but I want my boxes to stay put and I want to fill them with tons of treats, so I use the Score Pal tape. So then it's just a matter of folding in those tabs, aligning the two edges and pressing closed on either side. And then you just fold one of those in like that, and you have your little treat box. To decorate the top of my box, since it measures 4 by 4, I'm going to cut some cardstock down. This one is cut to be a 3 3/4 square. This is going to be my main pattern paper, so I'm cutting that to measure 3 1/4. And then this one is measuring 3 1/2. And I'm going to mat those on top of each other and then onto the aqua. And then that will go on top of the box. So this is a little bit different from the sample that I showed you before. I didn't create any mats for that, but for this one I really wanted to bring out the various colors that were in those chevrons. So I'm going to put it on top of the box like this, and then I'm going to open the box up so that I can press down on it to make sure it adheres really well. Now, to create the little mini cards, I'm taking the leftover cardstock. It measures 2 1/2 widthwise, and so I'm cutting it at 5, each of these pieces, and then scoring it 2 1/2. And then that creates my little mini cards. I'm using some of that tone-on-tone green paper to create some mats. So I'm creating 2 1/4 squares. And then with that pretty chevron paper, I am cutting 2-inch squares. Here I just flipped it around because I wanted more of the blue and yellow on my card. And so then I'm just going to adhere those together, and I'm going to stamp the Happy Easter greeting with some green ink. I'll stamp it twice, one for each card, and then while I have the ink out, I'm going to take that little floral stamp from the set and I'll just stamp that in the corner of the card. So I really like that tone on tone, the green ink on the green paper. It's subtle, but it's a nice extra touch. And now I'll take that slider die and I'll line it up, put a little bit of post-it tape there, and I'm going to cut out the friend die in the white cardstock. And again, this is all from the March card kit. Pop that out. Then I'm going to cut this one, and I'm going to take some of that leftover turquoise cardstock and I'll cut out friend a second time. So now I'm going to use that turquoise as a shadow behind the white friend here. So I'm going to layer them on top of each other and offset them slightly. So that's going to make that word pop a little bit more. And that is a little bunny that I colored from the card kit set. And I'll have a video showing how I colored that and the other images, and I'll link to that below this video. Next I'm going to adhere the friend, and you can see how that little bit of turquoise makes it pop a little bit more. I put my mounting block on it there to hold it down while it dried, and now I'm using some of the ribbon from the kit to tie it in a bow. Obviously you would fill this up with treats prior to doing this, but I don't have any treats in the house right now because that's far too dangerous. There we go, so I'm just adjusting the bow and I'll just clip the ends. That's my box completed, and you can see the little mini cards. I'm just going to adhere all the little matted papers together. I'm going to slide a piece of thin green ribbon through the slider, under it and out the other way. I'll just cut a little bit. I don't want to waste any of the ribbon. So I'll hold it and just clip a little bit on the other side, add my adhesive and just fold that ribbon over, and then I can pop it onto the mini card. Do the same thing for the other card. You could use 2 sort of strands of ribbon or some of the baker's twine. You could even attach some of the little charms that come in the kit. You can really change this up any way you want, and this is a completed set. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. You'll find a full list of links and supplies below this video on YouTube or on my blog. Thanks for watching.